Hello there, everybody. My name might possibly be Bwarch. We're gonna let's play Thomas Was Alone. I went back and forth on whether I wanted to do this or not because I started the game up and immediately I was met with the music you're hearing right now. And I was like, this is gonna be a good game. And I went back and forth on whether I wanted to let's play it or not because I don't know, I just did. You know, like, I wondered, should I keep this experience myself, or should I share this experience with my subscribers? And in the end, I felt that this game has potential to be a good thing on my channel. To be a good experience for me and my subscribers. So in the end, I want to share it with you guys. So let us experience this game together. I do know a lot of levels. I am up to like level 10, not too far in the game at all. Like, not too far at all. Like they haven't even started throwing puzzles at me yet. But yeah. The one thing is that there is commentary in the, well, not commentary, but there is a lot of talking in the game, so I don't know. I'm going to try and not talk over it. But I'm going to try and piece in my own commentary as well, so we're just going to have to go with it and see what happens. So without further ado, I'm sorry for anybody who hated that rambling, but I wanted to get all that out of the way. So let's get into it.
Thomas was alone. Wow, a weird first thought to have.
So very, very alone.
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity.
Of course.
1. The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where. 3. Falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
If only they had a falling event at the Olympics, Thomas might be able to compete. But alas, they do not. They're lost, really.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump. It worked! Thomas had solved the great inverted fall mystery.
Dancing, I'm so happy. I figured out jumping, everybody. It's gonna be a great time. If you can jump, you can do anything.
A big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
Ever so gently. It wants Thomas to succeed, at least at first. We shall throw the obstacles in later, perhaps.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment. He was starting to suspect it might even be doing so on purpose. Nah, paranoia.
Of course. It's not as if the world's falling behind you. It's not like the world wants to kill you. But of course not. Because if the world wanted to kill you, it already would have. Right? Love the atmosphere of this game. Like, I went into my Steam list and I was like, I gotta find something that's not flashy, that's not loud, that's not action-filled. I want something quiet, peaceful, something to just stimulate my mind a little bit. And this seems like the perfect game. So, thank you to Humble Bundle. I got this from them. great sight. I'll link it in the description for all of you.
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might, or might not, be important.
Who knows? All I know is that it's better than going to the right. Only squares go right. And we are, as you may have noticed, a rectangle. Gotta love the narrator, too.
It might have been paranoia again, but Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills.
I don't know, man. You're doing pretty good. Oh, damn it.
Just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No. Too obvious.
Yeah, it's too obvious. That's the thing, like, I'm hoping that the dialogue won't be coming in so quickly later on. Like, the levels will be a lot longer. I think they will be, so I won't have to worry so much about getting interrupted. And I can just go off on my merry way. I do love the narrator, and the narration, mind you. Like, it's even better than my own, of course, you know. There's gonna be people that hate that I'm doing this Let's Play. But I wanted to do it. So that's that.
Something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it.
It's a very
Made
minimalist
another
game.
mental note. 4. Water. Not good. To be avoided.
Of course. It's a very minimalist game. Like, it's the little things that get me. Like the rays of sunshine, the shine on the water, the way the character jumps even. Like, he has this, like, little skinny, like, it's very animated, even though it's very minimalistic.
The loneliness was getting to Thomas.
Aww.
No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
Of course not. The only cure to loneliness is the opposite of loneliness. Crowdedness. Of course.
Thomas had a new theory. The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper. He was evolving. He just wished he had someone to share it with.
We'll find you a friend, Thomas. Somewhere out there in that vast, vast world of this place.
Chris took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was?
Ah, he's a scandalous bastard, I tell ya. There we go. I wouldn't trust him with me wife, I wouldn't.
Chris had been doing fine. He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times.
Sure.
Well, not actually. Not technically graceful. It's probably the wrong word, but, you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
What a jerk! He has no right to be leaping. Should outlaw it, they should. No Thomases leaping in this zone. Ever. To be punished by, let us say, dematerialization. I think that's a good punishment, don't you, Chris? see. Where are we heading, actually? Actually, yeah, where are we heading? I wasn't paying attention there. Oh yeah, this is, level... Oh, alright. He's heading there. And then Chris over here is heading this way. From here on out, everybody, it's all blind. We'll get through it together. Aw, who's this guy?
Okay, this was more like it. A glowy white thing. Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing. What would it do? What new opportunity might this switch open up to him?
The only way to find out is to press it. Stairs! Alright, Chris.
Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. Fortune. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
Poor Chris. You have worth, my friend, I promise you. Oh hey, you can even drag characters along. Of course you may not want to do that. Wait, what am I doing? I'm doing this out of order. Here we go. You up there. You on top of him. Oh man, Thomas jumps so much higher than Chris. I almost feel bad, but not really. Chris is kind of a jerk after all. Hating on Thomas? Of all great beings in the world, you would hate on this Thomas? Why, the very thought is tragic.
Was this good? Because on the surface, it did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared. Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure.
Of course!
Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him.
No!
Sure, he'd been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point.
Alright. Oh boy. Look what you got yourself into, Chris. Got yourself stuck, you did. See? This is why Thomas is a valuable companion. So I demand that you stop insulting our dear Thomas. And then we all shall all get together and have a grand, merry old time. As friends, companions, compatriots, and drinking buddies. Amen. Damn it. Now if I could just get... There we go. Knew you could do it, Thomas. See? All it is teamwork. If you would learn that, Chris...
Thomas with pure hatred. He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness.
Yeah, of
That would be
course.
fine. But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot.
Bah!
He hoped the next portal would split them up. If only for a few levels.
You don't wish for that, Chris. I know you don't mean it. The very world wants us to be get together. Kind of. Come on. Over and over. Haha! Oh man. Come on, Chris. Time for you to go on your own little quest. identity? For treasure? No. No, 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 no. For Switch. Life's greatest treasure. Or at least the game would have us believe. Who knows what other treasures are out there? What currency this world holds? Why does it matter? Why, I ask you? Well, that's the thing. It doesn't. That's the great thing about this world. Nothing really matters. So you have to make your own choice on what matters. You have to find your own way, your own destiny. You have to find your own satisfaction in this life. Or you can just have the game tell you where to go. That's fine too. Oh, yeah. Great. Just let the game tell you what to do. Why do games always have to tell us what to do? It's tragic, really.
John knew. He knew that this was his chance. A moment to shine. This was game day.
Of course. I like your style, John. I like it a lot. Alright. So, how do we get... Huh. No, that's not gonna work. I honestly have no idea how to do this. Oh dear. The first actual puzzle it's throwing at me, and I have no idea how to conquer it. That's just great to me. That's just great. Well, we could do that. I suppose that works. Just doesn't feel like the intended solution. But alright.
Would not do. John needed room to show off his exceptional skills. As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things.
Oh, we'll conquer the
Where
dots.
did they come from, anyway?
Wait, oh, so John thinks... Oh, does he think that Thomas and Chris are holding him back? No. Come on, John. Don't be a hater. Hate is not a very valuable emotion in this world. It'll get you killed. By me.
John inhaled the air of the open space, and it smelled of awesome. Time to flex those muscles, to put his training to use, time to show those little dots how it was done.
Yes! So John...
decided to press the switch, to let the little dots catch up with him. John cared for his new allies. You could tell from the sympathetic expression he practiced in the mirror all these years.
I begin to wonder how much I'm going to be able to commentate without being interrupted. Oh, Thomas. Come here, boy. Come on, Thomas. Got a job for you. Gotta work together. Gotta get this done. For the greater good. what's down this hole? Who knows? Oh wow. John falls very slowly. I wonder if Thomas does that too. Thank you very much. Alright. Let's get all the gang over here and see what we have to do. Thomas falls a little bit slower, but I think John falls the slowest out of all of them. Come on, Chris. Bring up the rear here. You can do it. I know you can. He's a strong boy, that Chris. Strong and stout. His edges, they are perfectly equal, perfectly squared. It's valuable, though he may not know it yet. Alright, now we gotta help Thomas out for once. Is John a higher jumper than Thomas? I think so, because he can jump over that. Oh, poor Thomas. He has been surpassed already in jumping ability. And he was so proud of himself, too. And on that note... Come on. Alright. John needs some help too, as it turns out. You're not the only one, Chris.
John was happy to keep helping. He felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
The little guys. Later, Chris! Well, if I do that, can Chris jump on top of John? No, he cannot. And I cannot get up there for an easy transfer. So then, what can one do? What can one do with one's ability? Well, first of all, let's make sure that, you know, we don't have anything else to work with here. You know, no other switches or anything. But I don't think so. I think... Yes. I definitely think we all have to do this together. After all, this entire game has been about teamwork. Why would they stop that now? Oh. Damn it. This always feels... This doesn't feel intended, but I guess it would be, huh? Like... I don't know. It feels weird when I have to maneuver them like that. You know, just on the edges, on top of each other. But, if you say so, game, that's how it's done, I guess. I love the music, too. God. This game is making me happy in all my happy places. And trust me, it is very hard to reach those happy places sometimes. But in times like this, I'm as happy as I can be. Gosh. John? Do we need John? Yes, we do. After all, John's entire thing is helping out the little guys. He's a very helpful guy, that John. Almost reminds me of Mac. You guys don't know who Mac is, but I do. Alright, now then, we need to get Chris onto this elevator. We need to get Everett on the elevator, really. But Chris, most importantly. I hope the level throws more tight holes for Chris to get into. You know? One moment, everybody. I thought I heard a noise in my household. But in the end, it was nothing at all, really.
He didn't mind them so much either. The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding every time John jumped.
They seek it here, they seek it there, they seek it everywhere. Wait. If my suspicions are correct, Chris needs a leg up. Oh, such a burden, Chris. Burdensome creature. But we shall carry him, because we can, because we are able to, because we are teammates, we are compatriots, we are companions, we are fellows. And we are also quadrilaterals. But that has little to do with it in the end. For how can we judge a person by their vertexes, by the number of sides they have, by how well they fit into the Pythagorean theorem? How can we judge somebody by these, of all characteristics? I say nay.
The angry orange one was less immediately likable, but his unremitting cynicism and tutting amused John.
Well, at least John's taking it all in a good stride. And I seem to have left somebody. Sorry, Chris. Won't happen again. John would never do that. That was all me, unfortunately. I am the one that left you behind, Chris. And for that, I am sorry. Ah, really? Oh, come on. Alright. It's a very interesting way to play the game, honestly. By having these characters of varying sizes, with different abilities, and having to switch between all of them. I wonder if anybody else has done it, or if it's a completely unique idea. Well, no. Knowing the way the world works, it is not a unique idea. But, that having been said, it is a creative idea on its own. And in the end of it, at the end of it, that's all you can really strive for. How can you expect to come up with something that millions of human beings before you never came up with? You can't. We live in an age where we have to think of putting concepts together instead of coming up with completely new concepts. That's the very idea of remix culture. Look it up sometime. You might be interested in your findings. And with that...
This was interesting. A floating target. This would require coordination, balance, and timing.
Yes.
John
And with...
was sure the dots would be lost, but he was happy to guide them to triumph.
Stop interrupting me! Dang it, I'm trying to end my video here, man. I'm trying to play your game, but I'm also trying to end the video. Yes, indeedy. Alright, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. I shall be continuing next time. Hopefully I'll be able to finish this Let's Play. And I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.